Birdman videos. Today's topic, we're going to talk about how there's the camera, you can get your own short scale bass at no cost. Now, this assumes bunch of things, of course, but let's talk about short scale basses. But before that, we talk about long scale or regular scale. Fender Jazz Bass. This has a 34-inch scale length, which is the measurement from the bridge to the nut, or from the nut to the bridge. That's 34 inches right there. With 34-inch scale length, that determines the width of each of these frets to make your fret spacing. So the longer the scale, the bigger the spacing is here, and this is where some players get in some problems. Down here by the open frets, or the open string, by the first few frets, let's say. It's because the spacing is so large here. It's almost 2 inches between each fret at the first few frets. So a short scale bass is actually typically a 30-inch. Sometimes you have a 32-inch. There's fan frets basses out there that have a variable scale length. But for this topic, let's just talk about a 30-inch short scale bass. I know there's a few in the market, but finding maybe you want a jazz. This is an active jazz bass, or maybe you want a GNL. I don't think GNL does short scale, at least not in their SB line or their ASAT line that I know of. So if you wanted a certain bass with a shorter scale, you might be out of luck. So you might have to then just figure out, okay, what is out there? And I see this a lot in the forums. What short scale bass can I buy? What's the best one in this budget? People looking for the short scale bass typically want it just for the feel. Some people have a restriction about, the bass has to be actually shorter to fit in a certain space. Either in their car or whatnot. If you drive a small car, you might have a problem fitting a full-size bass in the trunk of a Miata. But for this, let's just go on the 30-inch scale feel versus a 34. And how can you? I brought you in your hat. How can you get a short scale bass for free? Well, that assumes you have a regular scale bass, and you're gonna kind of see where I'm going with this. If you have a bass or not, you can pick the bass that you want. If you want a jazz bass, if you want a P bass, if you want a Warwick bass, any bass that you want, you can convert to a short scale for, I would say, free, but that will require you to have already one of these. This is for you bass players have not maybe seen this. Guitarists know what this is. This is a capo. Guitarists, love to do this. They'll capo off somewhere, and they'll play their chords up high. So they'll play up here, and they'll play their little chords and stuff. And they can play open chords with the fret capoed and stuff. So, but we can use this capo on a bass to convert from 34-inch scale to close to a 30-inch scale. The first thing you probably want to do is, if you look at your fretboard a lot, all your dots are in a certain spot. 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 9th fret. So, if you've seen any of my other videos, you might have seen, crinkle crinkle, that you can get stuff like this. You can get these little stickers that go on your fretboard that just cover up these dots. And then you can get other stickers if you wanted to put in new fret markings. So let me just quickly take my Fender bass here and cover up some of these dots, and we'll move forward. All right, so for this exercise, convert this to a 30-inch scale from a 34. We're just going to capo at the 2nd fret here. That takes off almost 4 inches. It's actually 3 inches and 3/4 or something like that, or 3.6 inches to 3.7, somewhere around there. It gets you very close to a 30-inch scale, close enough for this episode. So as you notice, I got rid of the inlay there with the sticker. I just covered it with sticker. We're going to ignore the 12th fret right now, but you could redo your whole fretboard if you want to, and put new fret markings in with new stickers. But for now, if the markings bother you, put a sticker right there. All right, so you heard me play the intro. So you heard that. So what you want to do now is you're going to want to detune your bass by a full step, and then capo it. If you really are doing this full time, you can buy thicker strings, which will give you the same tension as a thinner set of strings would. So you'll have a very similar feel as far as the string tension goes. So let me detune and capo and keep going on. All right, so I detuned. So now that should be an E. I didn't actually use a tuner, of course, because I'm Birdman. Birdman doesn't believe in tuners. But use a tuner, obviously. All right, now here comes the fun part. When you use a capo, it's important to actually put it right behind the metal fret that you're capoing. So, not quite over it, but pretty much. Let me just get a little top-down view. There we go. All right, so it's capoed. Once it's capoed, you might want to retune, but you shouldn't need to. But let's test it out. That's close. All right, notice that your tuners still work. So you can still use your tuner. So don't worry about, I capo it, don't have to uncapo and retune. It's not a locking system like a Floyd Rose locking nut or anything like that. It's just a capo. So you can actually still play and tune. Wow, I'm sorry. All right. And again, use a tuner and you'll get it fine. So, what we now have capoed at the second fret is approximately a 30-inch scale, probably 30-inch and a quarter. So, how's it sound? You gotta slap because it's a YouTube video. So there you go. This also works with a 5-string bass. There's plenty of space left in this capo. So you can have a 30-inch 5-string bass if you want. Why would you want that? I never said that the 5th string has to be a low B. You can make the 5th string a high C, and suddenly you have a 5-string 30-inch scale with the higher string. So, and you can use your imagination for all the great things you can do with that. But there you go, a short scale bass, essentially for free. If you want to try a short scale bass without, spending $400, $500, $700, whatever it's going to cost to buy a new one, there you go. If you want a certain bass, like I said, if you want a Warwick, if you want a jazz bass that Fender doesn't make a certain type in short scale, you can just convert it. The only thing I'm going to say about this particular capo is if you're used to playing down here, your hand is going to hit it. It won't make too much of a difference for some players, but if you're playing down here a lot, I'm telling the but if you're down here, you're sliding up against that capo. But like I said, this was a cost-free method of playing short scale. And again, the benefits of playing short scale is everything's closer, so it's much more comfortable in the hands. So you can play your scales without stretching as much down here. It's just a little easier. So give it a shot. Capos cost, $10, $15 for a capo, whatever they cost these days. On eBay, Giacomo sells stickers of all types for your fretboard. These stay on through all types of playing, so no worrying about them falling off. And again, tell me what. Try this at home, and in the comments section down below, tell me how this worked for you. If you have a video, I'd love to see your video with you playing a short scale with capo, and your thoughts. And do all the YouTube stuff. Subscribe, comment, like the video, Patreon me, Twitter me, all that good stuff. So follow me on all those Instagram things, and some please, if you would support me on Patreon, that would help me keep bringing these great videos to you, and I can keep making this stuff for you guys. So otherwise, hit that like button, share this video with all your friends, family, aunts, uncles, cousins, nephews maybe, and I'll see you next time.